Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the Franck Muller Long Island Grand Date. You can see and you can purchase this Grand Date white gold Franck Muller on our website. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the right-hand corner of the screen, upper right, to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details. Now, you can see on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. This watch wears large, and it is large, but it's very viable on a smaller wrist because of its particular shape and short cropped lugs. So let's talk about the basics. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. The watch is hefty in white gold and broad from lug to lug, that's tip to tip across the wrist, 55 millimeters. So keep that measurement in mind when sizing it for your own wrist. However, because of the camber of the case, that is, it's an arced case and an arced case back, it will wear well on smaller wrists. You can see it actually does not flare over the edge of my wrist so much as it sort of wraps around it. The shape of the case and the lugs really makes this one viable on wrists, in my estimation, as small as 15 centimeters in circumference. Now you can see the case is also broad, 32.5 from 9 to 3, not inclusive of the crown. One thing the watch is not is thick, as it's only 11.5 millimeters thick, and you'll notice a generously sloped case flank, so this one does help a tight sleeve or dress cuff to ramp up and over it. Now, it's very heavy. It's impressively massive. And a big reason for that is the large engraved solid gold caseback on the watch. In an era of obsessive use of display casebacks, I applaud Franck Muller for actually using a full gold caseback. I have no need to see the ETA caliber inside. I would much rather have 2 ounces of precious metal beautifully engraved with an awesome satin finish top to bottom. You'll also note that the watch features all high polish on its flanks, beautifully executed by hand. It almost looks like liquid metal in a sort of stabilized form, almost as though metal being poured out of a foundry froze in place. It's incredibly beautiful, gorgeous in its sculpting, compound curves galore, and made into very short lugs. This is one of the reasons why it fits so well on a smaller wrist. You'll also note that this large and heavy watch is secured to its ultra-thin leather strap by screws, not spring bars, and that's reassuring. The more expensive way to do it, it's also a more traditional aesthetic, and it works well to keep this watch secure on the wrist. Now, the strap is extraordinarily thin. There's a calfskin inlay on the back, so it's very, very supple, but it's a small rectangular scale, medium brown alligator leather that is so soft, so supple, so pliant. It's a large part of the pleasure of wearing this watch. It's simply like nothing else. This is a class of 1, this particular strap. There is nothing else this thin and this pliant in high horology. Now, it's paired with a beautiful engraved and lacquered Franck Muller pin buckle for a historically inspired low profile, but also for easy adjustability on the fly. Now, this watch has a Gatsby-esque ambiance to it. Named the Long Island, there is a reason for that. Long Island, really the epicenter of the U.S. during the 1920s craze of jazz, Art Deco, flappers, and automobiles. Long Island was the place where you would see a Gatsby-style character in a Gatsby-style mansion wearing this Gatsby style of watch. And while it's bigger and better made than its historic predecessors, you can see where the non-round case form comes from, as well as the highly stylized 1920s style Arabic numerals, each one of them beautifully lacquered onto the dial. The dial itself, cut in traditional rose lathe fashion, has a beautiful collection of guilloche patterns. Outboard, beautiful striations. Inboard, a gorgeous undulating radiant rose lathe pattern, and a vintage style railroad or piano key track inboard of gorgeous blued spade hands. And of course there's that Grand Date courtesy of the ETA caliber 2896 inside. Now you'll note small seconds at 6 o'clock. Pull the crown, hack the balance, it stops. Now you can synchronize to a precise reference time. The watch also features a quick set for its Grand Date, and I will demonstrate that. Make sure we roll through the date change and get past 4 a.m. And now you see how the Grand Date can rapidly be cycled to correct. should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. Inside, automatic bidirectional winding, 42-hour power reserve, quick set date, hacking seconds, modern 4 Hz beat rate. Also important, Franck Muller customizes the movement with a platinum winding mass. So while it is a high-grade ETA caliber, its winding efficiency, as well as its inherent value, has been substantially upgraded. Franck Muller is best known as an extraordinary design house. While he does claim the title Master of Complications, perhaps the greatest complexity comes from the interplay of historically inspired forms with modern fit, finish, and materials. You can see this Long Island Grand Date and buy it on our website.